Hello and welcome to the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Ross Sr., and this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that's listening all over the world. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Ross Cloud Podcast. We really do appreciate it. Listen, if you haven't had the opportunity to like and subscribe to our page, you can check us out on YouTube at the Ross Cloud Podcast 7722. You can check us out at the Mix Network Ross Cloud Collab page, and you can follow us on Facebook at Ross Cloud Podcast. I really do appreciate you guys. Tap in, tap in. So listen, we have a very, very, very special guest with us in the building. Man, I'm super excited to have this gentleman here with us on today. He is no stranger to myself and to probably many of you too. He is a barber, father, husband, just an awesome individual, coach. This man can do it all. I would just say he can do it all. Listen, we have the owner and operator of Dynasty Barber Studios. And I'm going to say studios because we thinking in the future.
Multiply.
Right. We have the one and only Marc Raye. What's happening, Marc?
What up, my brother? How we doing today, man?
Doing well, man. Doing well,
That's
man.
what's up.
Man, first of all, man, I want to say to you, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence here on the Ross Cloud Podcast, man. You know, this has been a long time coming.
For sure.
We had talked about it a couple of times. And, you know, here not too long ago, man, I actually had the honor and privilege of being a moderator of, I think it's called Lessons Learned podcast with Mr. Antonio Stevenson.
Yes, sir.
And then, yeah, I forgot. That's right. Omega to the day you die.
Omega, sci-fi to the day I die.
Yes, yes.
I got to do it, man. I got to do it for the bros.
Go
One time
ahead.
for the bros.
Hey, listen, I understand, bro.
My man.
Yes, sir. And we had our special guest was the Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough. Well, I had the opportunity of moderating that wonderful event. Great conversation, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
You know,
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was just absolutely amazing, man. You know, we go back a long way, Ray.
Man, I think it's longer than a long way, man.
Yeah, childhood, man.
Yeah, long way is like 10, 15 years. We talking about what, 30, 40 years?
Absolutely, man. We know each other, family members, everything, right?
Man, yeah.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
Crazy brother Alfred Shaw.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Yeah, man.
That's my dude.
So many great memories.
Oh, yeah.
Man. So many wonderful memories, man. Some that we'll never, ever, ever forget. And man, I want to say this to you, man, before we get started into the conversation, man. I want to tell you, man, up front, bro, I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, man.
It's good to see where God has brought you from, and just to see what you're doing, man. It's dope, man. And so listen, folks, we'll be right back with this conversation with Mr. Marc Raye.
Tap in.
Yes, and check out this commercial. We'll be right back with this conversation.
This is the barber shop. The place where a black man means something. Cornerstone neighborhood. Our own country club. I mean, can't you see that?
All right, welcome back to the Ross Cloud podcast, and we're going to start this conversation with Mr. Marc Raye. What's happening, bro? Listen,
What up? What up? What's
so
up,
listen,
my man?
as we showed you a commercial a few minutes ago. First of all, dope commercial, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
man.
Appreciate it.
What a wonderful. That was an experience by itself, man.
Oh yeah, I had my guy Charles Crouch, Chuck, we call him. Came through, man. Took some shots. Had the drone popping.
For sure,
man. It was. When he sent it to me, man, I can't even front, man. I cried, because it was part of the vision, you know what I'm saying? And to see the vision come to fruition in video, just a small snippet of it, it was amazing, man. So he did his thing with that.
Yeah.
And, he also did a customer appreciation, commercial for us. Took some shots. Great guy, man. Great guy. Very talented. Has a son named Jordan. We call him One Sock. Make crazy beats, but now he's into animation.
Cool.
So he's very talented.
Yeah.
Chuck is very talented. Has a lovely wife. Just got married not too long ago. So great family, man. Great guy. His mom, Gwen, Sweet G is what I call her. Been knowing him for a long time, man. I really appreciate what he did for us and what he's doing now.
Absolutely.
Especially in the black community with the black males.
Oh, I love it, man.
Yeah, he's doing a lot, man. A lot.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, man. Thank you for sharing that little
plug.
Yeah, that little plug. Yeah, you plugged them real nice, bro.
Plug them in. Hey, Chuck, you owe me, bro.
Write that check, baby. Write that check, right?
Yes, sir. I got to have it.
Yeah. One of the words I want to put an emphasis on that you said was vision. And sometimes, growing up in church, sometimes, you'll hear a prophetic word of your life. And sometimes we think it's instant. We think it's like right now, but that's not the case.
Nah.
So in this case right here, I've had the wonderful opportunity of actually seeing, this transition that you've made over so many years, but you're a talented brother yourself. But I kind of want to, let's take the folks on a journey, man.
Let's go.
When did you know? Now, I gotta say this, man. You were a hell of a basketball player too. Point guard.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I remember those days when you were playing. So, if you want to, we can start there and then talk about how that mesh with you being a barber.
Well, excuse me. For instance, when you're a point guard, you have teammates around you.
Sure.
So you have to lead depending on the position. You have to follow depending on the position. Yeah. But at the same time, you're leading and following because you lead the guys out on the court, but you also have to follow what the coach said.
Sure.
So with me transitioning into barbering, I have a team. I call them Team Dynasty. I have 10 chairs in my shop. I have 9 field, and then there's a starting 5. Every team that's a basketball team has a starting 5. Sure. Now that starting 5 can switch up, but with this team, it'll never switch up because this is the first starting 5. It's myself, Rico Cox, who is my shop manager, Kenny Mans, who is assistant shop manager, my man Cedric Hargrave, who's there with me. We call him the seasoned vet. He is the oldest of the crew, but he's a seasoned vet in his craft. And then we have the first lady, Christina, the boss Nelson. She can go, man. That girl, she is great. And then I also have 4 other guys. A guy named Richard Cruz, Hispanic guy, just graduated 19 years old, graduated from high school, went straight into barbering school.
Oh, wow.
Has a great job working at Dynasty Barber Studio.
Sure he does,
making good money, man. Very young, so his future is very bright.
Sure.
I have a guy named Shaquan Salters, great barber as well. Very, very talented, man.
Yeah,
extremely talented, humble, meek. Don't mind coming to help you with certain things, talk to you. A great guy on your team to have to just talk to, and sometimes even listen to as well. I also have another guy named Mark Pedrosa, Puerto Rican. We call him Big Pun.
Okay, guy.
Yeah, listen, dude is smooth as butter, bro. Big Pun is smooth as butter.
I love it.
I met his uncle in Lowe's actually when I was getting some product for the shop, and I seen this uncle. His uncle had a nice cut.
Okay.
So I asked his uncle, hey, where you cut at? And what's crazy is his uncle had a shop. He just closed it down because of COVID.
Okay.
So he didn't open it back up. So he said that he would come by the shop and talk to me.
Okay.
Well, when he came by the shop, I saw him and I saw his nephew, Mark Pedrosa, which we call Big Pun.
Okay, gotcha.
I had no idea he was there to introduce me to Big Pun, so Big Pun can come in and chop.
Sure.
Well, I thought the uncle was coming to want to chop, you know, but I met Big Pun, man, and he's been solid ever since, bro. Been a real good guy, man. Young cat too. You know, the starting five, we are like, you know, the veterans of the shop. Like Jordan came in, and you know, you had Bird and Magic and you know, Barkley. All those guys was kind of phasing out.
Sure.
The starting five for me is not phasing out, but we got some younger cats around us that's gonna help enhance our skills. We help throw a little seasoning salt on their skills and their little journey, you know. So man, it's working out. And I also have a guy that just started named Kai Bodie. You know, he drives from Wilkesboro an hour every day. So he's dedicated, man. You know, I have a very, very talented, dedicated team, man. And I really do appreciate each and every last one of them, man. They go above and beyond. We have team meetings bi-weekly, man, and it's very engaging. So, you know, you might not see us a lot, but you're going to see us a lot. And what I mean by that is you're going to see a lot of people who come through those doors who we service.
Absolutely.
So they might not see our face, but they're going to see our work. So,
I love
you know, man, this is just a great situation, man. And I really prayed and asked God to send me not who I wanted, but who I needed to be in that shop to serve the people. Because, you know, when you come in Dynasty Barber Studio, man, you come in to get the Dynasty experience.
Come on now.
You know, so when you come through, it's an experience. You know, man, we love to see people come. And they love to come, but they hate to leave.
Absolutely.
You know, but we don't mind them leaving because we know some more coming through. We got to serve some more people, you know. So it's just been a great situation, man.
And it sounds like it, man. It really does sound like it. I want to piggyback a little bit because I know you also coached, and you also coached your son's basketball team. So I want to talk to you about team building and how that being a coach has impacted what you do now, and how you encompass that with you being a leader in the barber studio at Dynasty.
So the ultimate goal in coaching, in whatever aspect, whatever sport, even in life, the ultimate goal is to not only win, but win it all, or win big. So when I was coaching my son, who is the co-owner, Marc Raye Jr., which we call him MJ, I had to mold him when he was young. So he started at the age of, I think it was like 2 or 3. And it wasn't forced. He was basically born into basketball. Because at the time he was born, I was coaching. So, you know, he was always in the gym. He was what you call a real gym rat. You know?
I got you.
And the thing that helped him excel so fast and so well was because he had older guys that he considered like uncles and brothers. And he would see them dribble between the legs, behind the back, you know. Makes sense. He was trying to mimic what they were doing at a very early age. Now, granted, the ball was almost 2 times bigger than he was, but it didn't stop him. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew that was what he wanted to do. So it didn't matter how big the ball was, he was still going to dribble it. So we go on, man, through AAU, had a great run in AAU, man. He had some guys that played with him, and they all in college. They all are playing some type of sport. And they still talk to each other to this day. It was more about building relationships than just the sport. So as we get on through middle school, he had a coach that coached him by the name of Daryl Scott. He's actually Dr. Reverend Daryl Scott. He's from Winston-Salem. He's down in, I think, Concord now, but he coached him, and, you know, he motivated him. You know, like he pretty much not instilled what I instilled in him, but supported what I instilled in him. So we go to high school, and I remember our first drive, our first ride down to the high school, and it was an hour. So we traveled an hour there and an hour back, 2 hours round trip. So we both had goals in common. So that first ride was me saying and believing and understanding and knowing that the goal that we set out to achieve is actually happening. During that car ride is when I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is what
you practice for.
Yeah. So it's about to go down.
Yes. Yeah.
So I asked him, the first thing I said, well, man, what are your goals? He said, I want to win a state championship. And me with the talent that we had, it was possible, but it was a far stretch goal. But that was a goal. I didn't knock it down. I said, okay, let's work on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So then he said, I want to be a 1,000-point scorer.
Okay.
So I broke it down and I said, well, you got, 4 years, which is really not 4 years. So in high school, you play 4 months of sports. So you really got 16 months, which is like a year and a half. So you really don't have 4 years. But parents and players don't really know that. They think they go 9th, 10th, they playing 9th, 10th, 11th grade year. They're not playing the whole year. We play 4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So I said, well, listen, to do that, you're not starting.
Sure.
So don't think you're going to be on this team starting. You probably won't make varsity. You're going to play JV. So you're going to have a lot of work to do your possibly 11th and 12th grade year. Well, we have tryouts. Now, he was far advanced in a lot of the kids that was on the team.
Sure, man.
But I didn't let him know that.
Of course not.
So when they saw him, they knew it, but I still didn't let him know that.
Yeah.
So I told him, you want to be a 1,000-point scorer. First, you got to make varsity your first year. You got to average at least 10 points a game. So by the time your 12th grade year, the end of it, you have 1,000 points. Great goal.
Yeah.
And I told him how to break down those 10 points. You can average 2 points a quarter, one layup, 2 free throws at the most. You know what I'm saying? Just 10 points. Well, he came off the bench. He ended up making varsity. And it wasn't because he was my son. That was a lot of chatter.
Yeah.
When
he
made
worked for
it.
that, though. He worked
listen,
for that.
man, those the people down in Albemarle are some of the greatest people that I've been around, right?
Okay.
But they also made me keep things into perspective.
Sure.
Whereas, this is my son. And I used to tell him, but we gonna use his advantage to his advantage. I'm his father, first of all, but we put in the work.
Yeah.
I took him to the gym.
Yeah.
We studied for him.
Yeah.
Before high school, we studied for him. So he was not only like a gym rat, but he was a student of the game. Yeah. So
at an early age.
Yeah, very early. So when I had film sessions at high school, when he was a little jit, he was in those film sessions.
Sure.
So he knew he knew my coaching system before he was in middle school.
Gotcha.
So when he got to high school, some of those players just couldn't understand how he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
He started at an early age.
Yeah, facts.
So he was very familiar with everything.
Yeah.
So he was actually out there directing, helping, telling people where to go. And they looking at him like, who is this little dude? And I mean little.
Yeah.
Like extremely little.
Yeah.
So, we go on, he ended up scoring 1,000 points by the end of his sophomore year.
Wow.
Made all conference, all 4 years. Well, it's 3 years now in 1A. Made North Carolina all district, so a lot of accomplishments, man. The first sophomore in Albemarle school history to score 1,000 points.
I love that,
man. Led the conference in steals, led the conference in scoring, runner up for player of the year in the conference.
He was a big deal.
He was a huge deal for us.
That's right.
But I didn't make it a big deal.
Right.
He didn't make it a big deal. But with the leadership part, man, he was very patient. And that's one thing I had to tell him. Just because you may appear to be better and you may know a little bit more, you have to coach them, which means you can't talk at them. You have to talk to them.
Yeah.
So you have to coach them up to get to your level and to where we are trying to be as a team, not so much as your level as a player, but your level as knowing what's going on. Directing.
Right.
So it was a heck of an experience, man. And I have no regrets. His last year, he wanted to go back home. So I told him, man, you need to get on a bigger platform to be seen, yada, yada, yada. So he go back to Reynolds, played for Coach Billy Martin, great coaching staff, Coach Clyde Reynolds, my man.
Okay,
Coach Tony,
Boys Club.
Yeah,
in my day.
Most definitely. Coach Brishon. So he had a great staff around him that I knew was gonna hold him accountable and still push him to be better.
Yeah.
So came home, man, got recruited by Coach Walker, who who was the ECSU, Elizabeth City State University coach. They let him go, but he's at Allen now. MJ has transferred. He's down at Allen University, down in Columbia, South Carolina.
I love it,
man. So it's a great story. He went through a lot, man. But if you're not being stretched like a rubber band, like you just don't know how far
it's not benefited.
Yeah.
So I thank you for sharing that. I like I said, this is pretty interesting. You know, this your whole journey, this whole story of being a leader, and you know, first of all, it was leadership at home first, and then you were able to do that. So I tell you what, we're gonna come right back and finish this conversation. Then we're gonna talk about how he was able to build the team aspect within the barbershop right after these messages. We'll be right back.
Tap in, y'all. Tap in. The Rose Cloud Podcast.
All right. If you haven't had the chance to have media service, make sure you check out the Mix Network LLC, capturing moments that matter. Reach out to them and get your media needs taken care of. All right. Thank you for coming back to the Ross Cloud Podcast. So we left off with you talking about team building, and you were talking about that relationship with your son and your coaching ability and being able to coach that. You being in a team environment, you've experienced that yourself, and now you are teaching your son about team building, and you've seen the fruit of all of your labor and the fruit of his labor too, as well. And the team, you know, the team aspect too, to help get him to the place where he is now. So now you take that right there and you say, hey, I'm a barber. It's time for me to get back. Get back to the place where I began cutting hair. Because I remember, you know, in your younger days, you were cutting hair also quite a bit. And I remember I used to always say to you, before we get into the team building aspect, I used to say, hey man, why you ain't cutting no hair? You was a man of few words too, though. You were a man of very few words. You was like, well, man, you know, you didn't have to say a whole lot, Ray. But I like the way you kept a lot of stuff to yourself, even with your friends. You kept your stuff and you prayed and you was waiting. You were patient. But I do remember you voicing, man, I'm on my own, man. A couple of times, but you didn't go into detail. You didn't act like you weren't gonna do it. You just was like, listen, man, you didn't have to say. We saw what you were focusing on. And so now here it is. Now the season that you're walking in it is just absolutely amazing to see you doing this, and it's beautiful. So let's talk about you transitioning from being a coach on the field at home with your family. So now you're coaching a team of men in a barbershop. Team building with that. Let's talk about how you made that transition and how you take what you've learned from coaching and brought it into the environment of the Dynasty Barbershop, the Barber Studio.
There you go. Dynasty Barber Studio. So with that, man, I want to give a shout out to my man, Black. That's who we called him, Steven Antoine Patterson, man. He actually graced me with the clippers, man. He put them in my hand. He helped me realize a gift that I didn't know that I had. So, huge shout out. He's no longer with us physically,
rest in peace,
but
man.
he's always here mentally and emotionally.
Black.
Big Black. So, you know, every day I go in that shop, man, and open up, or before I leave, man, I literally think about him, bro.
Steve.
Said I
cut my.
do this,
I know
man,
he cut my son's hair too.
Geez,
both of them,
man.
Chris
But
and
that's
Nico.
my guy, man. I love him, man, and I miss him. We're supposed to be doing this together. He actually got me in the barber school, man. And you know what was crazy is I ended up finishing before him, and we linked up some more while we was in barber school. We actually decided we was gonna open up a shop called Cops Cuts of Perfection. You know,
I like
so
that.
you know that shop never
Boy,
came
the
to
irony in
fruition,
that
but
too.
man,
You know? Oh, I love that, man.
crazy. But
That's a brand by itself, though.
oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh yeah.
So to go back into the team building and leadership with my team at Dynasty Barber Studio.
Yeah.
I had to pick some guys, and I wanted some females in there, but I just didn't want the regular, ordinary barber. I wanted somebody and somebody's that wanted to be there, not needed to be there, but wanted to be there.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I created an atmosphere that when people came to work, they enjoyed coming to work. Because you can go to a barber shop, and just be there and not grow, not have anything to do outside of cutting hair, which is, I experienced that before I opened up my shop. I dare not call out the shop name, but I'm thankful for that owner and that shop for allowing me to have a platform for that time being. But moving on, man, the team that was actually chosen was by design. So I was working with a guy, and we was gonna go into business together. Rico Cox. He was actually gonna be my business partner. But what happened was he ended up leaving the shop that we was at. So we linked back up, and once we opened, that still stood. That offer was still on the table for us to still be together.
Sure.
As far as co-owners, but he said he didn't want to really be the co-owner, and he asked if he could just be a manager.
Oh wow.
And I was like, cool, man. Like,
yeah, no problem.
No problem at all. Because I trusted him. So, when you dealing with teammates and leadership, like, you have to trust the people that are around you.
Absolutely.
If you don't trust them, there's no need in them being on your team.
Not at all.
So everybody that I have in Dynasty Barber Studio that's a barber, like, I trust them. Now, not every day is gravy where everybody's making $1,000 a day.
Of course not.
Like, it just comes with the territory. You're not gonna make $1,000 a day.
That's right.
But even when they're at work and maybe not cutting, they enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's great, man. I'm able to lead those guys, and Tina, Christina, the boss, Nelson, and all of them are such a blessing.
Yeah.
They have no problem with my leadership because I'm coming from a place where I want them all to grow.
Yeah.
And I even told them, if anybody leaves and open up their shop, I'm going to bless them with $1,000 to give them to go towards whatever, because I'm a giver naturally.
Absolutely.
But I also want to see them grow. Some of them may never want to leave, and that's fine,
Yeah.
but it's still growth at Dynasty Barber Studio.
Sure.
So to lead those, my team, has been an awesome experience. They have their input, what they think matter. We all actually, come together bi-weekly. Like I say, we have team meetings bi-weekly, man. And, we have an open discussion, and everybody's opinion matter. Everybody's suggestion matter. And it's a beautiful thing when you have a lot of adults that can come together and still get things accomplished without somebody thinking or hating on one another, thinking like, oh, he think he, know it all. And that's not the case at Dynasty Barber Studio. We are a team that's excellent in every endeavor. That's the mantra: excellence in every endeavor. So we love what we do, and we do what we love. And those guys don't mind me leading them in terms of business, and I follow them. They lead me as well. It's some things that has taken place, conversations that has happened, and I had to ask them, of their opinion and what they thought, or how I should approach certain situations. And they were very instrumental in that approach, when those things came up. So they are a huge factor in my life, man. I'm the leader of the business.
Right.
But we all are leaders of the shop, people don't realize I was a teacher's assistant. I was an assistant coach. So I've followed for years, man. So I just didn't get here off of an idea.
No, that's
I
right.
got here off of experience.
Absolutely, man.
Following experience. There was times when I didn't agree with things that I had to do as a follower.
Yeah.
But as a great leader, you have to be able to be a great follower.
So as well.
Man, everything is just working out, man, with the business, my family. I definitely, man, listen. I'm gonna try to do this and say these things without crying.
Sure, man. Sure.
Jessica Raye, my wife.
Long time.
SBS, sweet brown sugar. Let me tell you something, man. Man, my lady was with me when I didn't have shit. Excuse my French.
No, you okay, brother?
Listen.
Speak your piece.
Man, a lot of people thought I had it. A lot of people thought I could just go get it.
Come on, man.
But bro, when I say didn't have shit, I didn't have shit, and she was with me, bro.
Yeah.
So I dare not think I did this on my own.
Come on,
if it wasn't for her, bro.
Yeah.
I would not be the father. I would not be the man.
Yeah.
I would not be the business owner.
Say that, man.
I just wouldn't be. Listen, I've been with this woman half my life. I'm 50.
Yeah.
I turned 50 in June 28th of this year.
I got you. Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I linked up with her when I was like 26, 27.
I remember. Y'all been rocking with each other a while.
It might have been a little bit before
I
that.
think it was a little longer than that, man.
So
with you.
Now, granted, I do know how many years we've been married, which is 20.
Yeah.
We've been together for 22. But I've been knowing her for a minute, though. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Man, listen.
I'm gonna go all the way back to you cutting hair on 311.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, I'm gonna go back that far.
Listen, bro. My baby has been there, man. And I thank God for her.
Yes, man.
Every single day, man. Listen, to be a father with no strings attached, to be a father and being allowed to be a father.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing,
bro. Man, listen.
That's
for me to not have ever had a father that was there.
Yeah.
Needed a blueprint, bro, of just straight up being a good dad. You know? But my thing is, man, my wife has allowed me to be the father that I needed when I was younger, that I'm able to be today, man. Like, if I had me as a father when I was younger, man, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, man. Listen. But I'm supposed to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I dare not go against the script. You know what I'm saying? That
without a doubt.
But to go back to my baby, man, she's given me a beautiful son. Like I said, MJ Marc Raye Jr.
Yeah.
And man, my daughter, man, is like, I just realized she looked like me.
I'm looking at the picture now. She looked just like
at my brother-in-law's wedding, man. I just realized that, man. Like
that's
identical. You. Yeah, man, that's a family picture,
man. Yeah, man.
You know, my son is a spitting image of his mom. And man, that girl sitting beside me, man.
Look just like you.
Listen, bro.
Yeah.
I would kill. And I won't plot to do it, man. Listen, man.
It's just done.
Listen. Let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Marc Raye,
don't
even play with it, bro.
Yeah.
Don't even play with it.
Yeah.
But it's like that with my whole family. Yeah. But that one right there, that's the only one. The first and the last.
Yes, sir. Yes,
bro,
sir.
Listen. Yeah, but man, my wife has been great, man. And I thank her.
That's awesome, man.
I actually thank her father, man, who's no longer with us. Like,
oh man,
he modeled fatherhood to me, man. Like he modeled that.
Gotcha.
He modeled a hardworking man.
Mm-hmm.
He modeled family dedication.
Yeah.
He modeled hard will.
Yeah.
You know, so just in the little bit of time that I've known him, bro, the best man I ever met in my life.
Beautiful.
And her mom, you know, we used to want to go on trips when she worked at USL and you know, fly free, but you know, mom's like, nah, you can't go because you gotta stay back and clean the bathroom.
Right.
But those things that she taught her.
Sure, man.
Listen, man. Mama Joe, I call her Big Mama.
Okay.
Everybody else call her Granny. But man, that woman is amazing, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God for Paul, who's Jesse Richardson, and Granny, who's Josephine Richardson, man. And man, those two people modeled how to be in a great marriage.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I never saw that in my household.
Right.
Jessica
right.
did. So like, it may mean way more to me
Oh yeah, I was gonna say
than it does to her because she was in it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's more like naturally like, okay, yeah, my mom and dad was married for 47, 48 years before he passed. You know, that's my mom and dad. But for me, I'm like, damn, somebody was
quite
together
naturally.
that long?
Quite naturally, yeah.
And everything was great, man.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying everything in their marriage was
no.
clean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean,
like,
man.
Their history, their journey, 48 years of anything.
It's a long time.
Bruh.
It's a long time, man.
Even living.
Yeah, it's a long time.
You know, but man, Granny, Big Mama, Josephine Richardson, girl, I love you. Thank you for allowing my wife to be the wife that she is for me and the mother that she is to my kids.
Man, I absolutely love this entire story that you're telling us about. And, you know, I even want to go even deeper, man. I don't want people to think that the misconception of, you know, they're seeing the glory now.
Yeah.
But I want people to, if you would, can you take a little bit of time before we go to a short break? If you would, take a little bit of time and kind of talk about what this journey was like in owning your own barber studio, the process. What was that process like, Ray, from construction to everything? Because I had the opportunity of seeing some of the pictures that you put up and was like, wow, you went from this to what we see now. I think sometimes people don't really understand. They look, but they just see the glory. But if you would, kind of take a little bit of time and kind of talk about what that was like in that transition, bro.
Oh man, first off, man, I had to just take a leap of faith, man, to just say, forget it. I'm gonna do it. Did 25 years of teaching. I had been looking at this place that was formerly Fantastic Sam's.
Yeah.
Which Fantastic Sam's is kind of like the Great Clips of the day, the sports clips. But that space had not been occupied and probably 8 years before I even started looking at it.
Yeah.
So I go and look at it. I called the guy up, Mr. Meredith. First time we had conversation, it wasn't the best of conversation. It wasn't a disrespectful, but it was like a man that met me didn't know if I was ready.
I understand,
you know what I'm saying?
that.
So it sat, and I rode down by the that actual shop, 2652 Peters Creek Parkway. Please come out and check us out, Dynasty Barber Studio. I went to that same place for years, man, and I got an agent. I said, well, maybe it's because I'm not speaking the language that landlord knows. So I got my agent on it. Name is Lucky Singh. He's a realtor, great guy. So I walked in.
That was a smart move too, by the way.
Oh yeah,
smart move.
Oh yeah.
You was playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah, man. But all of that was with God's guidance.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
come on, man.
Granted, like I've been looking at this place for years, right? And I wanted to jump on it, but it wasn't time. You know, even though that it was there,
sure,
not being used, not occupied or nothing, it was there, but it still wasn't time.
Yeah.
So got the agent. He reached out to Mr. Meredith, and man, everything was flowing. I go in, I call my shop manager, and I said, bro, come look at the spot.
Yeah.
Let me know what you see, and just tell me what you think. He gets in, Rico gets in. He was like, man, this is trash, which was what I needed to hear. You see what I'm saying?
I love that.
So we go to another place.
Yeah.
I think it was called Supercuts.
Yeah.
It was a space down by Marshall's, and
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it was already established. 10 stations. I was having 10 chairs. 10. All I had to do was turn the key, walk in.
Wow.
Put my twist to it. I wouldn't have to do nothing.
So turn key.
Like just ready to go on in there. Yeah.
Wow.
But that was not the space. That was just not it. So I'm thinking, man, I got this space that's already ready.
I don't mean to cut you off, but bro, the fact that you were willing to let your faith be tried,
yes, man,
tested.
Yes,
that's That says a lot about you. But go ahead and continue.
So
I had to plug that though,
no,
bro.
man, like, cause sometimes my mom say, Peter, so little faith.
Come on,
like, Peter, so little faith. But in those moments, I had my wow moments, my WOW,
Come on, bro.
my Peter moments, which is walk on water.
Walk on water.
Listen, I'm walking on water, and when I see the shop that's already established, I say, yo, I'm thinking just, me, like, hey, this is it. I ain't got to put much money into it. I can save a lot, at least 60,000 from remodeling and construction. So I called the guy. Well, my agent called the guy, and it was like 19, almost $20 a square foot.
Sure.
So I'm like, man, ain't no way. So I called the other guy at the spot I'm at, Mr. Meredith. They was asking for 16.
Wow.
And some change.
Got you.
I'm not going to tell you what he gave it to me
Come
for.
on, you ain't got to. We got you.
But bruh.
I'm with you.
Bruh.
God is good.
Listen, when God says this is it, so I had to go in that spot because he had to show me that even though my shop manager said it was trash, right? Horrible, like disgusting looking.
Yeah.
Like it was just ugly, man. I mean, like ugly to the bones. Ugly to the bones. God had to show a lot of people that, listen, if I can take this and make it what it is today, imagine what I could do for you.
Come on, man.
And we talking about a building that was trash. So just like they say, one man's trash
is another man's
treasure.
Come on, man.
So now, man, I have the treasure of Dynasty Barber Studio, and man, like it took a lot. It took a lot of patience with the guys that I had doing the construction, and big shout out to my man Willie McCoy, man. He about 4'5", man.
Wow.
But he's a giant, bro.
I understand what you're saying.
Contractors I had in there before, man, really, really did me in dirty. And I paid them in full, though. Yeah. I could have been one of them dudes.
I understand what you're saying.
And be like, nah, bro, go ahead on, man.
Yeah.
You got me messed up. Now, I still didn't open up on the day that I wanted to open up due to construction issues. Yep. So my man Willie came in. I even asked a few guys, Hispanics, to come in, and they're great with sheet rocking and all of that stuff. We're great with it.
No question.
They came in and said, nah, man, we got to tear everything down and put it back up. And I'm like, nah, I'm not putting that kind of money into it.
Sure, man.
I just spent this and it's not right. So I got my man Willie McCoy came in, and he fixed everything up to where it is now. So when you walk into Dynasty Barber Studio,
it's beautiful.
Man, listen, Willie McCoy, the guy that did my floors, name is Eric. Man. What kind of floors are those, man? Man, it's the epoxy floor, man. Gotcha. First one in Winston to do it. We got some carbon copies, and I like it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
They let me know we set the trend. We set the bar high, and it's great. I dare not say somebody shouldn't do something that we did.
I understand
do
that.
It, man.
Yeah,
do it, because they let me know. Yeah. Everybody else got to step their game up too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Eric from Epoxy Coating Gods, great, man. Great. Now, let me tell you something. That epoxy?
Yeah. It's different.
Listen.
Yeah, it's different. It looks good though.
It ain't cheap. I tell you that.
If you want them kind of floors,
listen,
you got to pay.
I was about to enroll in YouTube University and spend the money. Again. Boy, that wife of mine said, look at here.
Boy,
you wasn't designed to do that. That's not what you do.
I'll go on and pay somebody to do that.
Yeah. So my man Eric, and man, I contacted Eric in the summer of 2021, man.
Okay.
And we developed a relationship, man. And, I talked them down by like maybe, $20.
Yeah. I want to stop you right there. You said a key word just a few minutes ago. As an entrepreneur, I would like for you to expound a little bit on the value of relationships and how important that is as an entrepreneur and networking with a group of individuals, if you would.
Yeah. So when you start in entrepreneurship, man, like it's good to know people. There's nothing wrong with knowing people, but you got to have that relationship, man. And what I mean by that is going to somebody and trusting them that whatever you go to them for, that they're giving you their expertise, their honesty, and their transparency.
I love it.
It's not about the money when you building relationships, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not what it's about. It's about your approach and being able to get that transparency, man, and that their honest opinion about the advice that you're seeking from them for that particular business.
Yes, sir.
So to build relationships is even greater than you have than what you may have money in the beginning, man. Because sometimes you don't have that money, but if you know that person that can do something and they'll do it for you for the low, as they say, or for free, just because y'all had that relationship, it's called favor.
Called favor.
It's called favor.
Man, I know you was glad.
Some people say it ain't fair, but daggone it, after all I've been through, it is fair, daggone it. Give me that favor, bro. Give me that favor. Yeah. So, you know, man, like it's relationships are extremely important.
Sure.
So one thing I do for the shop, just like I met a guy named Joe today at the hospital. I was over there seeing my mom, and I just asked him, "Hey man, where you get your haircut at?" This, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, "I do it myself." I said, "Okay, cool." I said, "Well, listen, I just opened up a barber studio. Come by Dynasty Barber Studio." I gave him my digital business card, and we exchanged information, and he's going to come by, right?
I'm listening to you. Yes, sir.
So with that, it's more like a relationship thing. And I told him, listen, first time you come by, I got you. You ain't gonna pay for nothing. And guess what they gonna get? That Dynasty experience. Bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen, we serve you over there. You don't just come in there and get a cut and walk out. You come in there and you're gonna get an experience.
Man, I love that. So listen, what we're gonna do is we're gonna let the folks see what some of your customers had to say about you. And then when we come back, we're going to take some phone calls if people want to ask you a few questions.
Hit us up.
Yeah, hit us up at the Ross Cloud Podcast. That number is 470-524-2515. That's 470-524-2515. We're going to let you guys check out what some of the customers have to say about Dynasty Barber Studios.
Hey. It's for the bro.
I've had a great experience. I know a lot of the barbers here. Very close to the barber that's actually cutting my hair as we speak.
Best experience of my life. My man Marc, the owner, we have classes on skill sets. Every Monday, every other Monday, we have classes on different things they're going to know how to do. I've never met a barbershop owner that's done that.
What has your experience been like at Dynasty Barber Studio?
Man, it's been love, man. I just want to come show love to Coach. You know, definitely got me started early with a hoop. That transition into life, got my little one. Definitely a good family-friendly environment. You come in, get chopped up, you know, enjoy the vibes, and you leave out feeling like a whole new person.
It's wonderful being a barber at Dynasty. Love the atmosphere, love the people, like a close-knit family. I just love it. I love it.
You walk in, you're gonna walk out feeling amazing, man. That's the vibes that I'm catching.
Always wonderful atmosphere, professional service. To me, it's the epitome of what, you know, the barbershop ought to be.
It's a professional environment, and I can continue education that he also offers, and the ambiance is nice.
Real peaceful here. I mean, it's more than just a cut with these guys. Like, they actually try and get to know you, want to get to know you.
Hi, I am on here to just say how proud of my husband, Marc Raye, that I am. I'm so grateful that he allowed the Lord to use him in the way that he's using him, and that his vision has come to fruition. So we give God all the glory for what he has and is continuing to do on the behalf of the Raye family.
It's an amazing place. I encourage everybody to come down and get first-class treatment.
All right, and welcome back to the Ross Cloud Podcast. Listen, if you have some questions you like to ask Marc Raye as it pertains to being an entrepreneur, being a barber, just any kind of question you like to ask, feel free to call in. That number is 470-524-2515. That's 470-524-2515. I'm going to say that one more time in case you didn't get it. That's 470-524-2515. We're ready to take your phone calls whenever you're in. We're going to continue this conversation with Mr. Raye. So, Raye, we were talking a little bit, and hopefully we get some folks to chime in a little bit on this conversation. But I think that's beautiful, man, that you had the your customers calling in. I mean, the customers were, listen at me, the customers calling in. Call in. Call us. But pretty much that right there was a true example of what those customers, their experience was like. And you can see the smiles on their faces. Yeah. They were excited. Even the brothers that are there that are serving the public, it's a warm environment. And I'm a witness to it because I had the opportunity of sitting in the chair and getting that nice
Appreciate
warm,
you too, man.
Yeah, man, that nice warm towel on my face and getting my beard. Like it's a pampering that you go through. Yeah. And it's a much needed pampering.
Oh, yeah.
You can go to sleep in that chair real
listen. If you don't, man, there's something wrong. You got something heavy on your mind.
You got something heavy on you, brother. That's so true, man. And I'm glad that the thing about a barber, the role that you guys have played for many, many years within the community as a barber, there's so many different things we could talk about. Let's talk about that barber pole until we wait.
Oh, yeah.
To some folks call in.
Give them the history.
Yeah, give them a little bit of history about that barber pole and what that stands for, that red, that blue, and that white. If you would. Go ahead, take a little time and do that, bro.
All right, so, it's three colors on the barber pole, and red, white, and blue. Yeah. Everybody just think it's about haircut. And no, then you have the top pail and the bottom pail, which is like a little cup. So those cups represents like pails, if you will. So the color red represents the blood, right? Because what barbers used to do was pour teeth. We call it bloodletting.
Okay.
Right. So when that barber would pull that tooth, they would bleed. So they would have to put that tooth in that little pail that you see above the barber lights. That's just some of them is silver. A lot of them are silver. Some of them are black. Some of them are white, but that's what they represent. They represent a little bowl that you put the teeth in from when we pulled teeth. Well, when they pulled teeth back in the day.
Okay, guys.
And the white is like the bandages. That's what it represents, the bandage. Because we would have to put the bandages around your mouth or in your mouth. And the blue was like for the veins. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
the blue is when the blood come out. You know what I'm saying? So it's more than just that pole. Just doesn't represent haircutting, man. Like it represents surgery. It represents more than just a barber. But a lot of people that are not barbers don't know that little bit of history about barbering. So man, like it's an amazing journey. I'm actually in the process of going to get my instructor's license.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
I still want to teach. I taught for 25 years. So it's only one barber school in Winston-Salem.
Yeah, that's true.
And my question is, why? Why is that? Why is that?
The only one for years.
Yeah. Now I went to Triad Barber School with Miss Mary Kyles, God bless her soul.
Okay.
And it was another barber school called Pyramid, Mr. Farrakhan ran it.
Okay. Yeah.
So those schools don't exist anymore.
No.
Like there's no other barber school in Winston-Salem. Now Winston-Salem Barber School has been around since 1935.
Long time.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay. Yeah.
But why is there not any other barber schools?
Sure.
They coming.
Yeah, they coming. I love it. Is that a hard thing to get going, Raye? Sure, it's a lot of politics involved with that too. Would you say politics?
I would say some politics. Yeah. It's some politics. You got to get accredited. Well, that's the best way to do it. Get accredited so you can get that financial aid. Kids can get that because if not, people got to pay out of pocket, and you know, everything going up. It's hard, you know, for people to pay for things out of pocket.
Will they be able to take the VA loan too? Like not the VA loan,
yes.
but the VA benefits.
Yes. Once we get
GI
a credit,
bill.
yes, you get Pell grants and all that stuff.
I love
bills,
that.
GI bills, all that. Yeah. But it's a process in getting a credit. It takes at minimum 2.5 years, and it's all based upon paperwork. And when you go to NACA's or any other accreditation service, it's between $10,000 and let's say $50,000 to get accredited. And if you go that day and don't get accredited, you're out of your money. So you got to be thorough. Ooh. Yeah. So that's why it takes a while, man.
I understand that.
So, you know, I'm in the process of doing some things. I just don't want to pay 2 and 3 people to teach. And that's something that I can do myself. You know, now I know I can't do it all. Right. And that's what my team tell me at Dynasty. Bro, let us do it. We got you. Yeah. You know, you can't do it all. Yeah. And it's not that, you know, I don't want them to do it. It's just when you in that mode of things that got to be done.
Sure, man.
Sometimes you just don't think of asking people because you know what you got to do. So you know, man, my wife has been great. Like I say, she supported everything, every vision, everything that God has given me to do. And she trusted. Yes. You know, she trusts my walk with God. So it's easy for her to trust me and follow me. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, man, when she finished teaching, she's going to come and help run the school. There are going to be more studios open. We may have more studios open than barber schools before we open up the barber school. But just know, we right here, man. We coming. So absolutely. I love to teach, man. I have a passion for teaching. I still teach even in the barber studio. They teach me. I'm a learner. You know, I never get to a point where I can't learn anymore. Yeah. And these young cats, man, like they know a lot of stuff, man. Like they model my thing of work smarter so you don't have to work harder. Because we worked hard.
Oh, bro. Yes, sir.
We worked hard. And I heard something a while ago how most women survive longer than their husbands because the husband goes out and work till they can't work no more.
Can't work no more, man.
While the woman, the wife stays home and take care of the house. Yeah. So you know, you see a lot of women that are married last longer than the husband, and I don't think it's got that much to do with the food intake and all that, but it's got a lot to do with how we go out as the Neanderthals and go hunt, go get these jobs, go work all the time. So when it's time for us to just take a minute to just chill, we thinking, man, we got to go get this bag. Yeah, you think the only way you get that bag is you got to go work and get the bag. And you know what I'm saying? Unless you going to steal some. And that ain't working for me. You know, that ain't gonna work for me. So I got to go out and work. You know, so even with me having this barber studio, like I'm still working. Yeah, man. So I know I retired in 2021, but I'm back in the school system working in this program called Gear Up, and it's gaining early awareness and readiness for undergraduate programs. All I do is go and talk to kids about going to college, going to a trade school. Yeah. And I'm a product of both trade school and college. You see what I'm saying? So they both work. Yeah, they both work. So absolutely. I love what I do, man. Thanks to Al for hooking it up for me, man. You know, connecting the dots.
I know what you mean. Yes, sir.
You know, so it's been great, man. It's been great. So I'm still working now. Not only did I help kids get in school from an athletic standpoint, now I'm 100% academic standpoint of going to college. I got you. So you know, man, I'm working. I've worked in both sides of it, man. And it's easier academically because you have a mind that works, and that, you know, you got that mind that's able to work for you. Let it work for you.
Yeah. I want to give a few people, thank you for sharing that too, Ray. Listen, I want to give a shout out to a few people that's tapped in with us. Nathan Click, thank you for tuning in. Alice Gray, what's happening?
Big Nick.
Yeah, what's happening?
What's up, Alice?
Rico Cox, what's happening, Rico?
Rico.
In the building.
Your barber's barber. What up, boy?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. We thank you guys for tuning in and tapping in with us. We really do appreciate the support that you're showing to Mark.
Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
I love that. I love that. So, yeah, in closing, if you would you say something positive that could help somebody become better? The premise of the show is to help people become better through conversations, through other people's story, through dialogue, however we choose to do it. If you would take a little bit of time and say something positive to encourage somebody not to quit, not to give up, and pursue their dreams.
Yeah, man. First, I would just have to say, man, don't get off course. You know, you have a vision, you had a dream that God gave you. Don't get off course. Sometimes we do get off track.
Sure.
And it happens. You know, I ain't gonna say there's nothing wrong with getting off track, but don't get off course, man.
Yeah, don't get off course.
Don't get off course. Allow yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. You know, be persistent. Be like just persevering in all the obstacles. Like anything that's worth having is worth fighting for. You know, you gotta persevere. You gotta have faith. You definitely gotta believe in yourself, regardless of the closest, whoever's saying what around you, including the closest people, you know, around you, the people who you thought wouldn't like not believe in you. Like persevere, see it through. You know, that's something that we had to learn in Omega Psi-Phi, man. When we was online, man, we had to learn this poem called "See It Through," man. And everything that you set out to do, no matter how hard it gets,
see it through.
Just see it through.
Yeah,
you know, like don't start something and not finish it. You know, but you're gonna have those bumps in the road. You're gonna get those bruises, those bumps on your head. You know, but you gotta jump, like Steve Harvey say.
Jump.
You know. When you declining, you gonna get them bumps.
Oh yes, sir.
But once you get them bumps and you start ascending, man, like it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, you know. And just like I said at the podcast with lessons learned too, man.
Yes.
I'm never one to say like, you know, I'm proud of myself because I never really gave attention or much thought after accomplishing the goal because I was focused on the next goal that I had to accomplish. So
I got you,
after I sit in that shop, man, you know, man, my man Rico, man, he always be like, man, look, man, if you just sat in here and be like, man, I got a shop, man, I gotta, man, this look. I said, man, it just hadn't hit me yet.
Yeah.
And it's like that because I'm focused on other things, but I do need to take a moment.
Sure.
I do, but I know when I do, man, it's gonna be so many people.
Yeah.
That I'm gonna reflect on, like it's gonna do something to me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to go there even now. But
sure, man. Sure.
Man, like it's I can honestly say, bro, like I am extremely proud of myself from seeing hard work, you know, like going through so much from a child even up until now, man. You know, like I'm dealing with something with my mom. And still trying to accomplish goals. I still got to hold a fort down at the house. Still got to take care of the wife and the kids. And I also have an older son, man, named Ontario Antoine Daniels. It's my oldest boy. He's third way. He's my oldest son. He's not a boy no more.
Nah.
A grown man with a wife.
That's right.
3 beautiful grandkids.
Oh, beautiful.
K-Bug. Man, listen. All sad. Man, listen. I have a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my oldest son. Of course, the relationship is not like I really want it to be.
Absolutely.
But I have a relationship with him, you know, versus me, I didn't have that relationship. I wish I could have had even a bad relationship. At least I would have had a relationship with my pops, but didn't have neither one. But he's a barber as well, man.
Oh, wow.
You know, like he can cut. Like he is, listen.
Wow.
My boy can go, man.
I got you.
He can go.
I got you.
I'm proud of him as well, man.
Absolutely.
Ontario Antoine Daniels, go ahead and let's get this thing cracking, man. Stop playing with it, bro. Let's go on and do it. So, but yeah, man. To the person that's actually trying to, that's working on their goals of just become, like do it. It's just like Nike say, just do it. It's that simple. Of course, you're going to have obstacles. You're going to have trials and tribulations.
That's right. It's part of it.
Just do it.
Yes.
That's all I wear is Nikes. Only because of that slogan.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
Just do it, right?
You see what I'm saying? So when they see me walking, just understand with Nikes on, I'm just doing it.
You're just doing it, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Man, I just highly encourage anybody, man. If anybody want to come by the shop and holler at Coach Raye,
yes,
your boy Marc Raye, aka Big Mark.
I love it.
Come on down to 2652 Peters Creek Parkway, Dynasty Barber Studio, where you will get the Dynasty experience.
Hey,
come
man,
check us out.
That's right, man. Tell the folks how they can follow you, man, and get in contact with you.
Listen, man, you can contact us at email address is dynastybarberstudio@gmail.com. We have a website, www.dynastybarberstudio.com. You can also contact us at 336-293-8613, or you can call me directly on my cell, 336-480-8612. We are not an appointment-only barbershop. We take walk-ins, walk-bys, drive-ins, drive-bys, pop in, pop out. We take them all. So you do not have to have an appointment to come to us. Because guess what? Every appointment at one time was a walk-in.
Man, say that.
Walk on in, bro.
Say that.
Come on in, holler at us. Let's get this thing cracking. Allow us to help you look better. We about changing lives.
That's right.
You know what, man? Like this is crazy because when people wake up and before they go out in the day, they look in that mirror. And as a barber stylist, and any barber in the world, it's our responsibility to give our clients and our customers the maximum confidence that they can have just from our service.
Absolutely.
We have the ability to change lives, man. Barbers, barber stylists, whatever you're doing with some clippers, make it happen. Keep changing lives, man. I'm proud of you all. The only lane I'm staying in is the one on Peters Creek.
I know that's
Parkway,
right.
2652. We ain't worrying about nobody else, baby.
No,
come on down to Dynasty Barber Studio and get that Dynasty experience.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And remember, you can go and if you need media service, here in the local area, you can check out the Mix Network LLC. That's www.themixnetworkllc.com for all of your media needs. Listen, I hope something was said today that could help you become a better you. Listen, I want to say to you, Mark, thank you so much, bro.
Thank you for the opportunity, man.
I really do appreciate you, man, for coming by, stopping by. And before I get off of here, I got to say this to you, man, publicly. I don't think I probably said it to you privately, but I want to say to you, man, thank you, because you have impacted my life in a great way as well. We don't have to talk about it.
Right.
But you know, I'm appreciative. I'm a very, very appreciative of it, because I could have did a lot of time.
Yeah.
But you were standing right there in the gap with that situation.
Man, I wanted to jump in with you, man, but I knew we had futures, man. Look at us now, though.
Look at us now.
Who would have thought, bro?
So, man, I want to tell you that, man. I want to give you your flowers just on that level, too. And I appreciate you. Shout out to Mr. Goldsmith too, because he was there doing that too. So, you know, I'm appreciative of that, man. You never forget people that have been there, that have grabbed your hand and maybe stop you from going over the ledge.
Yeah.
So listen, I hope something that was said here on today at the Ross Cloud Podcast. Make sure you tap in with us. Check us out at the Ross Cloud Podcast 7722 on YouTube. You can check us out also at the Mix Network Ross Cloud Podcast collab page on YouTube, as well as checking us out on our Facebook page, the Ross Cloud Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of those pages. We really do appreciate that. Listen, if you want immediate access and you're driving, you can check us out on all media platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and guess what? We are now on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah.
So you can check us out there, the Ross Cloud Podcast. Make it a great day. I'm Chris Ross. Peace.
Peace.